So, in the last cruise that we didn't film anything. We had the GoPro set up. It's the first time in forever that we cruised but didn't film anything. I think we just needed a day off, but it was a shame because it was actually quite a nice little trip.
I think we should still put the time lapse in there, but it's
a little bit of it.
We needed a bit of a break.
I can't remember where we started from. Was it Abbott's, Kings Langley?
Kings Langley
down to Rickmansworth. We met quite a few different boats to travel with, and then it got really quite congested just before Rickmansworth. So we were travelling with one boat, and then there was a wide beam that turned around in front of us, so then we were behind that, and then we caught up with...
through the lock backwards.
Yeah, that was weird. Then we caught up with another boat that was in front of the wide beam, so there was like 2 trips through the lock in front of us, which has never really happened. So we joined the first boat, so we jumped in front of the
jumped the wide beam. Wide beam for some reason had been driving extremely slowly and doing this sort of weaving back and forth across the canal thing.
So we kind of abandoned the boat we were travelling with, but they were fine about it.
Yeah.
And then the wide beam ended up letting them go before it anyway. So the second boat that we like jumped in with, one of the guys, he'd had the boat 6 months and he was selling it because he just couldn't sustain like working.
Ah, okay.
And his friend was there for like one last trip and like hadn't really done it before, and he didn't really like have very good instructions, so he was letting the paddle down. And it just whipped and whipped and whipped.
And it nailed him in the finger, but he didn't.
Could have been a lot worse.
Oh yeah, he could have broken bones, but luckily.
And that was a ridiculously hot day, like still the heat wave. And then we got into this mooring, which is just opposite the Tesco's, and walked across the Tesco's, and the heavens opened, and we were like out dancing in the Tesco's car park. It doesn't appear to be the nicest morning, but just on this side is a massive like nature reserve country park. There's 2. There used to be gravel pits, and they've just filled them up and made them into
these
lakes.
2 big lakes.
Actually, I think there's more than 2 lakes, but we're right by 2. And it's a nice place to walk the dog.
Yeah,
But it definitely feels. Don't you feel like it feels like we're in London now? Because we've passed under the M25. There's a tube station here, and like I know we're like way on the outskirts, but like it just feels like we're just.
I haven't quite gotten that yet, but then I associate London with like just nothing but
the
concrete.
City,
and, you know, but.
And there's more liverboards.
There's a lot more boats, there's a lot more liverboards.
So these moorings are really busy. I think we were quite lucky to actually get this spot.
Yeah, because there's this great big sign over here on the Tesco's that says Tesco's customer mooring only, strictly no overnight mooring. And there's been overnight boats like almost every night.
Yeah.
And just up here is the canal centre just behind us.
Yeah, we had a walk around there, which is really...
Oh, it's really nice.
Because as you come down the last lock into where we are now, I think it's called Betchworth.
Yeah.
There's a lock next to it which will lead up
the River Chess, not cheese. I keep saying cheese, but it's the River Chess. So this is Rickmansworth, the town we're in, and this is Betchworth, where we're actually sitting, where the locks are. And there is the Grand Union coming up here, past the Betchworth Canal Centre, beside the lock that goes up the River Chess, and the lock that goes up the Grand Union. So we're going to walk up the River Chess here a little bit. It's kind of a neat place. Never seen this where the locks sort of join up and give you 2 different options. The River Chess, I keep calling the River Cheese because I keep thinking that's funny, but it's not really that funny. But it looks quite nice, and it's got a basin up there, so we're going to walk up and take a look. So if you're coming down the River Chess, or Cheese, there is the lock. There is the Weir Lock. Weir Lock. Wow, don't get that one wrong. Because big stones, big fall, big nasty sounds.
And it looks all overgrown, but we followed it up, and there's you come to like a little basin, and there's a few boats in there, and it's really nice. Do you
think that's the Ovaltine boat we saw on the channel?
I have no idea. Ooh, it's a fascinating bridge. It's like a living bridge. So that's the basin you come to at the end of the River Chess, and some nice little mooring down here, but you aren't able to get here except for through a large lift bridge, and that lift bridge seems to be powered by a mechanism that has a faded sign on it that says it's not to be opened by anybody but British Waterways, and it has its own keys. But there's this really cool bridge. It's like 90% organic stuff. It would be a neat place to stay.
Even though there's boats up there as well, you kind of get the impression they don't come in and out very often.
No, there's not a lot of movement to travel.
But I think it would be nice mooring.
Mm-hmm. It would be beautiful. There's like a whole row of little gardens, and then there's this very long, what used to be a train line, and is now basically just one continuous walking path.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Ebury path, I think it is. And we started walking up that and almost immediately ran into a couple of girls who were looking for a lost husky.
Which they found eventually.
They did find. They were like, can you guys, if you see a husky, can you call the number that's on the dog? We go walking along, lose sight of them, and then almost immediately get sight of this husky. But the husky won't let us near
George?
it. It runs off in the other direction. So I'm running after it with George beside me, going, if I can catch this husky, why didn't they write the number in bigger letters on the dog?
Whereas I ran back to find the girl.
And I had all of Joe's.
You had my phone.
I had her phone and her purse and everything.
And then while I was with them, like looking for you and the husky, their mum called to say that someone had called the house to say the dog was up at the lock, like the next lock. So anyway, it was quite adventurous. And then we went into Rickmansworth, which is a really nice little town. Oh yeah, and in the last video we cut George's hair and we never did like an after shot. And it's okay. It's a little bit tufty, but
I think we should do an after shot. There we are, boys. Oh, there's George. He is sort of baldish. He's got a look on his face like, what the heck is
But there's all these, oh that was his willy. There's all these,
That's not on camera.
there's all these tufts that we didn't do. And we didn't do his head or his neck or his chest.
Well, because you didn't want to shave all the curly bits.
I like his blonde bits, but his back and his tummy and all his feathers have gone. It's not too bad.
No.
What do you think, George?
Oh, happy George. So not the most exciting video, probably a fairly short video. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. There was lightning a second ago, rain's kicking up, and I think I might get electrocuted any second now, so hopefully this isn't my last video. Thumbs up. All right. Bye. All right. Okay, I'm blind. Why am I blind?
Quite bright, shall we?
It's fairly bright. No, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna keep the eyeballs open because people like the eyeballs. Not everybody likes the eyeballs. Oh, just touching his nose.
Georgie, come here. Come on.
Come on, George.
Be in the video.
Be in the video.
People only watch for you.
Yeah, it's really. There's his schnoz, right? You can see he's there. He's really here. He wants you. Oh, yes. What? Okay. And he lets go.
We didn't really cruise.
We didn't really cruise.
We didn't really film. Can you concentrate?
I'm concentrating.
You're not. You're playing with the dog.
Well, I'm worried about him falling in.
He's not going to fall in.
Okay, he's not falling in.
You've got an aeroplane.
Always got an aeroplane. Come on.
On the boat.
Come on. Come on. There. What a
Sit.
good dog. Yep.
But it's a shame because...
I think you should make it into a vlog.
George, what are you eating?
Just tack it on. Oh no. Now what you doing there? Don't look at me like that. Just get over here. Come on. Okay, right there then. Nope. Yep. So much more from going into my ear. Just waiting for a phone call. Yeah, they just seem to be having some problems with the smell of marijuana. But anyway, there was, because George has a thing for going into traffic. And
Just called George Joe.
I know, it happens. You know what George needs to do right now?
A poo?
No, he needs to do a mogwai. Except for I can't do it. Okay. Mogwai. Okay. We have made it down to, I have no idea where. Frogmore Wharf. Nice town, nice area. Don't know what it is. Don't know where I am. Rickmansworth, that's it. I'm at the edge of We're at the edge of Rickmansworth, the M25, and we passed underneath the tube. The tube, I should say. We've actually passed underneath the tube.